welcome to this episode of Moving Our World. I'm going to move this camera a little bit around so you can see the whole thing. This is what we call, and no Australia, it's not a Goggomobil, it's a Goggomobil. Why do you need a Kiwi to tell you that? No, in all seriousness, this is an amazing machine, but where does it come from and why does it exist? We'll get to that soon, but it's basically the result of places like Australia and New Zealand not really having their own major car industries, or people kind of trying to get a piece of that car industry as they started to establish. So this was basically a chassis and an engine that was imported with it, with a body thrown over the top in Australia, and I've got a whole much more detail that you'll hear in the voiceover. Introducing the Goggomobil, the Australian car you never knew you wanted. This is a 1960 Goggomobil Dart. It's a fiberglass body tucked over a German chassis powered by a 400cc two-stroke engine. Think Aussie cars and you think Ford, you think Holden. And if you think the Aussie car scene, you think of skids, burnouts, swing and O's, tyre smoke, and general hooliganism. And this car is the exact opposite of that. It has no doors, 4 gears, 2 seats, 2 cylinders, too fast, too furious. Well, sorry, 2003 took a hold there for a second. Anyway, let's get this out of the way. I'm in New Zealand right now, and yes, it's got an Australian plate, and yes, it's an Australian-made car, but I am a Kiwi in New Zealand, and quite truthfully, I never thought I'd get to drive this rare piece of automotive history. But what is the Goggomobil Dart? The name Goggomobil actually comes from a German manufacturer owned by Hans Glas. From 1955 through to 69, they produced over 280,000 cars. Quite a significant number. All small, mostly two-stroke, and all absolutely gorgeous. Insert Buckle Motors Proprietary Limited. Started by Bill Buckle Sr. in 1927, the dealership sold Citroën, DeSoto, and a few other things. After his passing in 1947, though, the company was taken over by Bill Buckle Jr. In the early 1950s, Bill visited the London Motor Show and saw sports cars with fiberglass bodies.
Once again, Earl's Court houses Britain's annual motor show. And if your pocket won't stretch this far, well, accent this year is on the family man's car.
Now, on a mission, Bill returned to Australia, and eventually in 1957, the Buckle 2.5 litre was created. Somewhat reminiscent of an AC Ace, which eventually became the Shelby Cobra, the 2.5 litre was Ford Zephyr powered and only ended up with around 20 to 25 produced. Come 1958, and Bill was up to his same old antics. This time off to Bavaria with a slightly different idea. Realizing import taxes were much cheaper with only an engine and chassis being imported, the rest could be sorted in Australia. And that's exactly what happened. Goggomobil produced the convertible I'm in now, a cute little van called the Carryall, and they also had a sedan version. They were all produced in the Buckle Motors Punchbowl factory. Today we focus on the Dart, and let's check out the features. First things first, it's really small, a little over 3 meters long and less than 1.4 meters wide. Moving Our World subscribers may remember the Hodjet Pulley, a little Hungarian microcar that was mainly popular in France. I filmed that earlier, and in comparison, the Hodjet was shorter at around 2.5 meters long, but it was a little bit wider at just under 1.5 meters wide. The Goggomobil Dart is powered by a 2-stroke, twin-cylinder, 400cc engine producing around 18 horsepower, somewhat respectable, but still very small. Buckle Motors left nothing to chance and even stenciled the mixing requirements on the underside of the trunk lid. It's got 2 headlights, of which some appear to have plastic covers, but these ones don't. And the badges both sit on the front of the body with the Dart logo aptly shaped. The entire body has a protective strip around the middle, giving a bumper car-esque feel. Its small windscreen has 2 small wipers, and on the inside there is a rear vision mirror. The body has a vent on each side leading to the rear-mounted engine. It's got adorable 10-inch wheels, split rims, and original Australian-made 4.4 by 10 Dunlop tyres. The interior is equally as frugal with just a few switches, the ignition, a speedometer, and this particular Dart has been kitted out with a rather extravagant AM radio at some point in its life. Behind the two seats is a small gap for storage, although I ended up using it for a different reason.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing with my life.
Remember how I said it's tiny? Here's my first attempt at getting in the driver's seat.
I want to get that foot there. How do they make it look so cool in movies from the 50s and 60s? I did it.
For a microcar, the pedals felt quite far away from where I was sitting, and it's running a traditional 3-pedal setup, but they are particularly close together, and to drive it properly I actually had to take one of my shoes off. The gearbox has been turned on its side, with the pattern as follows.
Shit, I just forgot where I... Can we start that again?
Yeah, go for it.
First, second, third,
Fourth, and then
you got to
reverse.
You've got to lift up the bar.
Oh.
And it slides into that little reverse slot there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
And where does the premix fuel go? Above the engine, of course, with this slick filler cap behind the seating compartment in the top of the body. Now, I'm about to drive the thing, but before I do, check out how light the steering is. This vehicle weighs absolutely nothing, around 380 kilograms. Anyway, it's Goggo time. Here's some footage of both myself and Dennis driving the Goggomobil Dart.
It's a key. And just
all key
I really feel like I'm like laying right back. Oh, this is hilarious. So, this is really hard to drive. My head's sticking over the top here. My left leg is sitting right on the gear shifter. Both legs are sitting right here, wedged up against the steering wheel. Third, the gear shift's really hard. We got reverse, everybody. Let's try and get first. Race car! I can't help but laugh. Australia! Come on! That gear change took me 10 seconds. This is tough. And I mean modern kid tough, as in cool, not actually tough. Although it is a bit tough to drive, but I'm having fun. My head, look at this.
One quick note before I end this video. The Goggomobil was not alone. Another Australian-made two-stroke was the Lightburn Zeta. This one was a wagon shape or an estate, and it doesn't actually have a door on the rear, so you can physically fold the front seats out entirely to get a lot more load in the back. Older Australians watching this video may remember the Lightburn Zeta from this famous advert back in the day.
Australia, what's your favourite sport?
Football,
Snake?
pies,
Animal?
kangaroos.
And what's your favourite car, Australia?
Zeta.
Let me see, that's football, meat pies, kangaroos and
Zeta.
cars, huh?
Right,
Well, you sure sound like Australia to me.
we are.
Well, then you better tell me again, because I just might forget.
We love football, meat pies, kangaroos, and
Zeta.
cars.
If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel. I am always looking out for weird ways our world moves, whether it's transportation or otherwise. I've filmed forklifts, I've filmed an Aston Martin, I've filmed a Porsche, I've filmed an Oldsmobile, I've filmed tractors, I've filmed a skid steer, I've filmed a whole bunch of stuff. A small dinghy, which is a tiny boat used in the harbour here in my home city, and I'm looking for cool stuff to film. It doesn't matter what it is. I just need to have some kind of interesting story to tell, and I'm there. Get in touch. I will be in Southeast Asia eventually later in 2022. If you're watching this after 2022, go and look for my Southeast Asian Moving Our World footage. Otherwise, check out my other channel, Small Bike Stuff, and thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next time on Moving Our World.